There's my friend Barack, sorry there now lads, Roisin is not here to keep things under organised for me, so we have Barack Obama here. There's Barack looking out at the lovely sunshine and the lovely crystal clear water where he finds himself these days, you know, as he bought his house by the beach, so he doesn't really have far to go to the beach or anything. I wonder will Barack be worrying about the cold winter coming in and the blackouts. I'm not so sure will he be worrying about that kind of stuff myself. But anyway, who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? And then of course once again here's Barack looking back towards his lovely home. He has just a couple of feet from the ocean. This in there, there's Barack Obama's house he bought there now by the ocean. And you can basically just come out of his house there and you can just literally walk. It's only a couple of feet from his house to the ocean. And there's a right ball of rooms in it, and you have a swimming pool, and you have jacuzzis, and you have cinema rooms and everything. So it's good to see someone is staying on top of the situation, because we wouldn't like to know they were all freezing out of it. No. And the generator is over here then obviously in another outhouse. Massive generator pumping out a massive amount of energy, enough to keep him going for 100 years I suppose, so he'll be alright, that's the main thing. Having a little dip, thinking how happy days out here, the sun shining, weather is sweet. Big massive diesel generator also in his house, and just flipping a switch and boom, it's like the Bahamas in there. A massive amount of energy, enough to keep him going for 100 years I suppose, so that could be him having a winter dip for all we know there now. That could be having a little winter dip. But he's looking happy, that's the main thing. I mean, Barack is happy with his £14 million mansion, literally a couple of feet from the rising sea levels, that's right. You would imagine, it's a wonder he's smiling, it's a wonder he is smiling. Life is good because obviously the sea levels aren't rising where he is, they're just rising where we are. Like, I'll take you here now to Galway and give you a look what way the sea levels are rising in Galway here in the Republic of Ireland. 2 seas and a country away from the other countries they call Europe abroad, outside, way outside here. So stay with me lads, this is all has to be done by myself because as I said, Roisin took an awful shock yesterday. I don't know was it the electrical shock off the car or the fumes off of the battery that went up in a puff of smoke after leaving her a ride off. So we're back again lads, my mistake, wrong picture, but look, I just get that's our man Barack, he's out doing a little bit of paddling boarding, maybe he's getting ready for the sea levels that's rising. He might be thinking to himself, look, I better get a bit of practice in, just in case I need to build myself an ark, because I mean like, man lives in a fairly big old house like, and he'd have a lot of stuff to move, that's right. He's like, when you're living in a mansion, all that furniture and all your belongings and your diesel generator and the thousands upon thousands of gallons of diesel that you need to run the generator, well, you want to be getting a bit of practicing, you get me? You definitely would want to be getting a bit of practicing. So, we'll just bring it to Galway, take us over to Galway there lads. Boom, right lads, so I'm back, so here we are anyway, and this is Galway here, about 60 miles from where I am here in Limerick, crow flies from here to there. So here we can see the people are out with their children, and poor obvious fortunate child here looks like she's scared out of her fucking wits, and wouldn't you, if your parents were telling you one day the water was going to be up there, about 20 foot higher, I mean, than where it is now. They didn't half shove it up there either. They must be expecting it to come up fierce high. And as the saying goes, when the tide rises, it rises all ships with it. So there'll be a lot of ships floating around on top of the cities as well, that's right, because the tide rises all ships, doesn't it? It does, to be sure. Wouldn't you imagine now lads, if you were going to check the sea levels, that you would have waited till the water was at its lowest point and then run your line across the lowest point of the water. That way then over the years, you know, like that was the lowest point, and then in 10 years time, if you notice the lowest point doesn't get down there anymore to where it used to be, well then you'd notice it, because see the tide comes in and the tide goes out and you get storms, and you could have a flood coming down the river and a storm out in the ocean and the high tides, and all of a sudden then boom, up there you are, you see? And then if you got a lot more rain and more floods and high tides again, well you might even go up a bit higher. So, but the best way to do that would be put the line at its lowest to see, because that way then you'd know in the future, alright, this is the lowest part of the tide, this is the lowest the river gets, or the ocean, because that's where you need to keep them. We're not about the rivers rising. The rivers rise and drop all the time with the floods and the rain. But by the ocean, you'd imagine you put that line at the closest, when the tide is at its slowest tide, smallest tide, and out its furthest. Then you put a mark. So in 10 years' time, if we were at its slowest tide, its smallest tide of the year, and it was a foot above it, you'd know the sea levels were rising. But sure, with this you'll never know, lads, because I mean, floods come, floods go. You could have a lot of rain and small tides, and you can get a big flood and the small tides come up to here, but then you could have a lot of rain, a storm surge and big tides, and then it'll pass out that. So I mean, it's you'd imagine you would have done it the other way around. But if you're trying to scaremonger people into believing that this is probably most likely the way you would go, you put the line up into the sky. I mean, the lights are up as high there, you wouldn't see them above the bridge. They should have stuck them up at the top of the castle altogether, seems to be exaggerating that much. But as you can see, there are some swans and the tide is out at the minute, but of course the tide is going to come in and come up around there. And they expect it to go up around there. I think that's around 2050. They're saying this is all going to happen. So I mean, to say like, I mean, they should have put it up there altogether, you know what I mean? Why didn't they put up a couple of them? It would have looking better. So that's not called exaggeration, like I don't know what is. But what isn't exaggeration is the blackouts, lads. There's definitely no exaggerating there with the blackouts anyway, lads. I can tell you that for sure, because they're definitely on the way. So we'll move on to the next one. It's supposed to be on the way. So I mean, that's going to make matters worse again. So even if you did get that 10 times and 10 boosters to go with it, you can still get it and go on to spread it in gain of function is what they call it, gain of function. Really it's called manipulating one virus and turning it into a deadly pathogen. Now they're after making this one virus at 20% kill rate, they've turned it up to 80% kill rate. So they reckon that could get out too now amongst the cold and the frost and the freezing weather as well. So if that ever gets out on top of us, lads, well, I don't think we'll be worrying about the boiled eggs anymore. That's right. So that's just some of the stuff that the BBC are planning ahead. And of course we have Zelensky, that's right, Zelensky there, he's walking around there, supposed to be in certain cities in Kiev, when it's a known fact, and I can show you here in a minute that he's on a green screen. That's right, he says I'm out in the streets with the people, when in fact he's not out in the streets at all. He has a big green screen behind him. And you know, other news as well, Russia now at the minute are after telling a lot of its people to move all parts of Kiev, because you see, NATO are going to go in now and start attacking certain cities in the Ukraine, and they're not telling the Ukrainian people that they're planning on doing this at all. So the Ukrainian people are going to be left none the wiser until the bullets from their own soldiers come whipping through their windows. But fair play to Vladimir Putin, at least he's letting the people know in advance, lads, your army's going to put the push on us through NATO, so we're going to have to start defending it. So if I was you, if you are not under the Russian Federation, pull back out of the city. If you are under the Russian Federation, we can help you come this way, we'll give you places to stay and get you out of the war zone. But unfortunately, Zelensky, the puppet for NATO, he's not telling his people anything, so they won't know fuck all until the bullets start ripping through their fucking house fired by NATO and their own boys. That's what's going on there anyway, just to keep you in the loop. So listen, lads, I'm a busy mind man, you know, as I said, and with the winter coming in and everything, and trust me, it's Baltic, lads, it's Baltic. Keep an eye out on the news there yourselves, keep an eye out there on the old TV. You can go on there, as I said, to Redact It. You can go over there to the Rebel News. You can also go to Louder with Crowder, or you can go on to Infowars.com, because of course Alex Jones was taken off at the air, so you can get him through the Google it up, Infowars.com, and you can get his live show. And he is a very intelligent man, and he gets a lot of truths out there. I know he goes a little bit crazy at times, but sure, look at the world we're living in. I mean, look at these bastards, what they're about to start telling us. Don't worry, you're alright, Jack. The heat will be back on, the electric will be back on within the next 48 hours. You'll be able to boil an egg again, all going well. And of course, if you don't have a fireplace at home, you might have to go up in the back to burn your furniture in the thick of the winter and it lashing out of the heavens and it freezing and cold and blowing a storm. Well, you might have to go up in the back to get warm to light your fire if you don't have an indoor fire, because your electric fire, well, that may as well be an anchor now at this stage in the game, you know what I'm saying? Back in the days, they decided we'll get rid of all the fires out of the people's houses. Now I've told people this years ago and they thought it was off my head, but somehow or other little apples will grow, and they are growing now. So what the plan was, we'll take out all your fires and we'll tell you that due to health and safety regulations you can't have fires in your houses no more. So that within in the future, which is now, well, if you're freezing cold and you think you can light a fire, well, you mightn't have a fireplace to light one in, you see what I'm saying? Because we say the fireplaces are gone. So maybe you could draw a picture of a fire and get a few magazines and look at the dinners on them and imagine you're eating them dinners or something, but you're going to need something to keep up the morale. So basically that's one of the reasons they got rid of the fires out of the houses, because they know with a fire, if the blackouts were on, well, you can burn, you can heat your house, you could cook, fry on the fire, you can make toast on the fire, you could put on an old stew on the fire, you can make buds, baked spuds and tinfoil on the fire, you can do a lot of stuff with fire. I mean, that's why you have electric cookers and gas cookers. I mean, that's the same preference, the same thing. So, but without the electric and without the gas, well, you might as well put your pot out into the floor and hope and pray that it does some kind of cooking magic in cooking itself. Yeah, that's right. Well, without the fires, like, where would you be going? There's my friend Barack, sorry, there, no lads, Washington is not here to keep things under organised for me, so